Hi everyone, welcome. FPL Matt Day here, and this is the live Game Week 34 deadline stream. It is a double game week. This stream will be covering off all of the fixtures, my favourite players from each fixtures, some captains, differential picks, and also some questions that come in through my Twitter page. I'll be answering them on this podcast tonight. And any questions that come in the comments during this stream, I will also answer as well. So be sure to get your questions in throughout the stream. Please give this video a like, subscribe if you are new here, and yeah, continue to get your comments in. So look, I'll start off with sharing the screen. I'll go with the fixtures and my thoughts in each game. This is obviously, I mentioned before, a double game week, and we've got 6 teams doubling this week. So it's a really, really big FPL week. There's a lot of people activating their free hit. So if you are one of those, go check out my latest upload as well. Put that on in the background. I've got my latest free hit update on there. So you can go check that out as well. I've also got some shorts as well. So go check those out where I've done my free hit and some of my favorite players to target for this week. But welcome to the stream, mate. Hope you are good. Let me know what you're doing for game week 34. I'll start off. I'm going to go through Palace versus West Ham. Obviously, it's the first game on. There's not too many games on Saturday today. You've obviously got this Palace West Ham game. There's Brentford versus Forest and Brighton Wolves. So there's only 3 games. So it's not going to be a busy Saturday for FPL. But that first game, Palace West Ham, that is a double game week for West Ham. So they've got the Palace game away and the City away game. So it's a tough double game week for them. But I think if you're not on a free hit and you've got West Ham players in your team, you play them. If you've got Jared Bowen, I think he's a really, really good option still. He's returned 4 times in his last 5 games. He did return against Liverpool until it was offside. Very, very close as well. So I still don't mind it if you're holding on to Bowen. If you are on a free hit and you're looking to save some money, you can put someone like Soufal in there, who is 4 million. From a Palace perspective, again, if you're not on a free hit and you need to sort of play players, you could play Gahey, you could play Eze. You can still keep these players. So yeah, interesting fixture. West Ham obviously have the 2 games. Soufal's the one I'd probably free hit in as a cheap bench player. But yeah, if you've got them as in your team from a single game week perspective, then you keep them. If you don't have the free hit, you keep those players. But yeah, if you do, then if you do use your free hit, you're probably going to focus more on some of the other teams. I think Edward will start. Edward started to play again lately under Hodgson. So I think he does look good to start, mate. So obviously, if you've got him, you're not going to make a transfer to take him out, or you're not going to use a free hit this week, then yeah, play him, because I think he starts this one, mate. He looks like he's been getting the starts in again under Hodgson. Let's go to Brentford versus Nottingham Forest. This is another one actually where there's people with single game week players like David Raya, Ivan Toney. Both really, really good options. Ben Mee, Rico Henry, those types of players. So again, if you're not free hitting and you have your Brentford players, probably going to want to play them, because this is a good fixture on paper for Brentford. They've been really strong at home this season. Forest are obviously in survival mode right now. So, they are looking to try and win games. They beat Brighton 3-1 in the week, which was a huge result for them. But again, yeah, if you're not on that free hit, play Toney, play Raya. This could be a really good single game week fixture. And yeah, bench boost is a good option as well this week. I think a lot of people, how it's worked well for the bench boosters is you've got a lot of people got a good core 11 of double game week players. And then they have a bench of Brentford, Newcastle players, and you ended up getting a decent bench boost this week. So you've done well to hold it. Let's go to Brighton Wolves. That's another big game for free hitters. A lot of people are on treble Brighton at the moment. So, it is a very, very good game week for those players. For me, again, the best 3 remain Mitoma, Solly March, and probably Estupinan. They still remain my favourite 3. I don't mind the McAllister as a triple up of the midfield, but you are kind of taking away an extra midfield space there. So Mitoma, March, and Estupinan remain my favourite 3. Maybe Steele If you don't have SG Plan, you can have Steal and Goal. So I do like them. There's probably no one from Wolves I'll be targeting right now. They obviously don't have the double game week. So that is Brighton. They've obviously got the 2. They've got Man United at home in the next one as well. So you definitely want to have at least 2 Brighton assets this game week. I will actually quickly do my score predictions because I normally do those, and I haven't done them so far. So Palace, West Ham, I'm going to back this to be a 1-1 draw. Brentford, and I'm backing Bowen to score for those that have Bowen. Brentford Forest, I think Brentford will see this one out. I'm going to go with 2-0. Tony to score, so keep him if you've got him. And Brighton Wolves. Obviously, I just covered that one. I think Brighton will win this. I think it'll be tricky. I'm going to go with 1-0. I think they'll edge it. I think the FA Cup semi may have just taken it out of them a little bit last week. So that is those first 3 games. We'll go to the Sunday games in a second. I'm going to bring up the comments that have come in. Welcome to the stream wing. Hope you are good. Tempted to go with Salah as captain to do the heavy lifting, as I've got Jota as my only other red, more secure for 90 minutes. What do I reckon? I like it. Salah, 2 home games, plays against obviously Spurs. We cannot defend. We are not keeping a clean sheet at Anfield. He's got a great record against us. Fulham in the second game, they've been off form. They've been letting goals in as well, not winning games as frequently. I know they did beat Leeds in game week 32, but I think Salah's a good option. I think he's a good option. Definitely going to get the 290 minutes out of him as well. So I like that. I think if you're a Liverpool fan and you own Salah, you captain him this week. If it was Kane and he had him this game week. So yeah, I like that idea. And good luck to you as well, mate. Christian is in the stream. Welcome, mate. I've got one of your questions actually that you asked me on Twitter, so I am going to go through those questions soon. Good luck with archery as well, mate. No Liverpool in the free hit then. That's interesting, mate. So let me know what you're thinking behind that. I've gone with the 3, mate. I think Trent's definitely one that you should potentially have. But look, mate, you could get it right. Let us know what your thinking is behind that. And that's actually not a bad idea, doing the Ortega and Edison switch in case Edison gets the last minute knock or illness. You just never know with things like COVID. Let's go to Bournemouth Leeds. This is a big single game because a lot of people have brought in the likes of Billing, Solanke over the last couple of weeks. And a lot of people have Solanke on a bench boost. So I actually don't mind that pick. Leeds are letting goals in for fun. Solanke did get a return in the week. He got an assist. Do I see Leeds winning this game? No, I actually think Bournemouth are going to win. I'm going to back them to win this. And Leeds to continue to concede goals. I'm backing Bournemouth for the 2-0 win. Leeds are in trouble, in my opinion. I wouldn't target these players on a free hit, but again, if you've got a single game week team, you're not using a free hit, you can keep Bill and you can keep Slanky in your lineups. We'll bring up the question that has just come in, and then we'll go to Fulham Man City afterwards. So we've had a question from EK, Shaw to Trippier for a -4. I wouldn't do it because Shaw plays 2 games. Okay, he may not necessarily get a clean sheet in both, as Man United's defence is, it's in pieces at the moment. But I feel like in the second game against Brighton, Maguire could come back. Shaw could move to left back, Maguire centre back, and you might get an attack in return. I just look at it, mate, on a -4. Trippier against Southampton. Newcastle haven't kept a clean sheet for 5 games. I know they're probably due one, but if you do get a clean sheet from Trippier, no bonus, no attack in return, and you just get 6 points, you get technically only getting 2 points for Trippier. I'd probably still play Shaw, mate. I personally wouldn't make that move. Sorry, you've just said Trippier for Shaw. I probably wouldn't do that on a -4 either. So I'd probably just keep Trippier rather than take the hit. And if it was the other way around, I just wouldn't take the hit, mate. I think either way, you're winning with either owning Trippier or owning Shaw without having to take the hit. I feel like, I don't know what the rest of your team's like, but if you've got players in other positions, I feel like you could probably use a -4 elsewhere, depending on what your team looks like. Good question, though. Arvin has asked, my thoughts on Wan-Bissaka or Dalot instead of Shaw. Look, the way I see it with those two players is Luke Shaw is going to play both games, in my opinion. If Harry Maguire comes back from injury against Villa or against Brighton, it's probably going to push Shaw back to left back, which then means right back is up for grabs between Wan-Bissaka and Dalot. I feel like Wan-Bissaka probably just edges that at the moment. He's favoured as he's been playing on that right side. I think Dalot has the best upside for attacking potential. But I still think Shaw's the most consistent pick. We'll bring up some more of the comments that have come in, and then I'll go on to Fulham versus City. So John's just saying that his team's awful, 100.5 million, can't afford to bring in great assets. It's all good, mate. Like, it happens. You can build team value from day one. A lot of it comes down to sometimes you can just maybe hold on players a couple more weeks rather than just sort of make those quick fire sales. But then on the flip side, you sometimes need to sell players earlier so then they don't drop value. So it's a balance, but yeah, you'll get it right. Next season, question from Weir Liverpool. Welcome to the stream, mate. Who should I bring in, Jota or Martinelli? Mate, you got to back your man Jota. I know there's potentially a knock. If you're picking between those two, you're picking Jota. But Jota is a forward in the game. Martinelli's a midfielder. If you are looking at bringing a midfielder, mate, and it's Liverpool, bring Gakpo in. Couple of double-digit returns lately. If Jota does have a knock, you probably think Gakpo is going to play, mate. And yeah, I like his threat. Christian just saying he can't drop Bjorn. He'll die in the hill after midweek. I brought in Rashford, De Bruyne, Isaac on a free hit. Isaac on bench's insurance if De Zerbi doesn't play Bjorn. Yeah, and he did. I think he got the goal, didn't he, against Forest? So, yeah, mate, good luck. Hope all goes well for you. And just some extra comments that come in. Also, if you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. Like this video if you've just joined the stream. Be sure to get your questions in. Steve has just asked a question. I am going to answer that in a second. I just want to cover Fulham versus Man City, the first of the double game weeks for Fulham and for Man City. Obviously, Fulham have two games. I had a lot of people who aren't on free hits saying if they should play Andreas Pereira. Of course, play him. He has two games. I think it's worth giving him a go. As for Man City, my favourite three remain obviously Haaland number one, De Bruyne number two. And I'm going to be boring and I'm going to say Edison number three because I like the fact that you're going to get two games out of him. Decent fixtures. City aren't keeping clean sheets, but there's still the chance of them keeping at least one in these two. So that's my favourite. And I think City will win this game as well against Fulham quite easily. I think it'll be 3-0. They get goals in the bank. So that's Fulham, Man City. We'll go to Man United Villa in a sec. We'll bring up the question from Steve. He is on free hit, but he can't pick Isaac. Is that wrong? No, it's not. I'm on a free hit, and I can't pick, and I don't have Isaac. He's in my normal team, and I feel like it will punish me because he could come out and get a couple of goals in this game. But if you're on a free hit with Man United, Man City, Liverpool, and Brighton, you have to maximise their fixtures because every single team from Man United, from Man City, at Liverpool and Brighton, each one of those have a home game in this double game week. So yeah, you've got to you've got to maximise them. So it's not wrong. And thanks, Wing. It's really good luck for you, mate, for this game week. So all the best, mate. Thanks for coming in. I like the Gakpo idea. I think he's come in. There's been some games where he's really done well. From an FPL point of view, you've got to pick some differentials as well. So, I really like him. Thanks, Wing. I really appreciate the feedback. And yeah, everyone ask questions. Get your questions in. The deadline's in 45 minutes. The whole point we do these live deadline streams are to try and help as many people as possible prior to deadline with their decisions, with their 50-50 calls, with their transfers. One's come in here from Fadzil. Shaw, Jota, Robbo, Isaac. I'd go Robbo, Isaac. Oh, I did just say I like maximising double game weeks. I would go. Oh, you know what? I'd go Robertson over Shaw. I'm guessing your next position that you have to cover is a striker. Yeah, I think you'll get 1.5 games out of Jota, and you get 1 game out of Isaac. You get 2 games out of Robbo and 2 games out of Shaw, but Robbo edges it. I'd probably say Shaw and Jota just because there's more games, there's more potential for more minutes, but it's close. Yeah, keep the questions coming in. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, and just keep all those questions coming in. We are 45 minutes from game week 34 deadline, which is a double game week with 6 teams doubling. Let's go to this Man United Villa game. This is a big game. Man United have, bit of a mess at the back at the moment. Lots of injuries. Villa are on form under Emery, scoring goals. A lot of people are asking if they should start Watkins. I definitely think he's a good player if you're on a bench boost. If it's a double game week player or Watkins, I'd still play the double game week player. But yeah, I think for Man United, Rashford's number 1 pick for a double game week. Bruno Fernandes is number 2. David De Gea probably comes in at number 3 for me. Gets his saves, might get 1 clean sheet in the 2 games. I think Man United is a tough game against Villa, actually. But I think they'll edge it. I think it'll be 1-0. But Villa are on really good form, so it's hard to pick. But I think United might scrap this one. They've got to go tight. They've got to tighten up that defence. They can't go gung-ho like they did against Spurs in that second half. Before we go into Newcastle versus Southampton, let's bring up the next question from Fadzil. So he's asked, Tony versus Isaac, just for 34. Who you backing? Only for 34. I'm going to say Tony, and I'll tell you why. I think Isaac's on fire, and I would probably say it makes sense to back a Newcastle player because they're scoring for fun at the moment. 9 goals in 2 games. And Southampton, on paper's even an easier fixture than Forest. But the reason I'm going to back Tony is because Newcastle got Wilson on form. And they might play them together where they would share the goals. Or they might bring Isaac off early, which means Wilson will come on. So I'd say Tony, because you're definitely going to get the full 90 minutes. Isaac does get pens for Newcastle too, though. It's close. A lot of people would probably say Isaac, but I'm preferring Tony this week. A free hit without 11 double game week. I wouldn't say it's wasted, but I think if you're free hitting, you want to maximize the double game week. So you want at least 9 in. And if the other 2 players are a Tony, an Isaac, or a Trippier, then I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. But from a lot of the free hits I'm seeing, I think a 4-5-1 is probably the best with Haaland on his own up front. But yeah, definitely not wasted, mate. If you pick the right single game week players, you can still end up with a really good score. And if you've got the nucleus of, the core double game week players, Salah, De Bruyne, obviously Haaland, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Rashford, then you'll probably be fine. Let's go to Newcastle Southampton. I do think Newcastle will win this game. They haven't kept a clean sheet for 5 matches. And I always say with Southampton, they're always a team that worry me to break clean sheets because of Ward-Prowse's free kicks. So with that in mind, I'm going to back Newcastle to win the game 3-1. I do think Southampton will score, but I don't think they'll have enough defensively because they've just been conceding a lot of goals. It will be a good day for Isaac, I think. I think he will score. But I also think Wilson will get minutes and score. Always scores against Southampton. Used to for Bournemouth a lot as well. And I think we might see someone like an Almiron come on and score. And I think Newcastle will win this game. Just on fire at the moment. Definitely would, if you're not on a free hit, you play Isaac, you play Trippier, you play Pope, those types of players. Liverpool versus Tottenham. Obviously, my side Spurs and Liverpool with a double game week. Welcome to the stream, PSB. Hope you are doing well as well. I'm good, mate. I've actually activated the free hit and I've gone full double game week. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to seeing how it goes. I am worried. About Isaac and Trippier because they were in my normal team, as was Pope. And I was devastated when Everton scored the other day. And that went in, and obviously Isaac got his assist ruled off, which made no sense. And it was just like, wow, I would have loved to have come into this free hit with clean sheet banked from Trippier, clean sheet banked from Pope, because he was on 2 bonus points as well at the time, and he lost that. So that clean sheet wipeout lost 4 points from the clean sheet and 2 points from bonus. I would love to come in with that and with an Isaac assist. Whereas now, nothing out of Newcastle in the week, and I just know single game week they'll come out and get the points, and I'll be like, damn. But when you're on a free hit, in my opinion, with all of these home games for United, for Liverpool, for City, you've got to maximise it, haven't you? So, yeah, I would probably say, mate, this is a tough one because Trippier's been so good this season. The law of averages will say they're due a clean sheet, but in terms of form, the defence isn't on form and the attack's on form. So you've probably got to play Isaac on that, mate, in my opinion. We've had a couple more questions come in. Wing has asked, he used 2 transfers and Rare is only single game player. I do have Yotta as an injured out. Should I do more? No, I'd still play Yotta. He gets 1.5 games for me, mate. So I think that's fine. Raya as your only single game week player is a good pick as well. Welcome to the stream, Frank O'Brien, who is on his free hit. So good luck, mate. All the best. And Wing is thinking of Watkins to Isaac in 36 and hope he plays 2 90-minute games. Yeah, I think Isaac's going to be popular in 36. We've seen, though, Eddie Howe just doesn't seem to want to play, Isaac in 2 games in a week. It's really frustrating, but yeah, you'd still get a game and a half out of him. And we've seen Isaac on the pitch for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. He gets returns, although he was robbed the other night. So let's do Liverpool versus Tottenham. I don't think we'll win this game. We're conceding goals for fun, but I do think there'll be goals from both sides. I will go with 3-2 Liverpool or 2-2. To score in this game, Son to score in this game, Kane probably to get some types of returns in this game. It's so typical that people will take him out on a free hit and then he'll come out and score, a couple of goals, or like he did in the midweek, 2 assists, 11 points, 3 bonus. So I'll go with 3-2 Liverpool. I'll go with 3-2 Liverpool. I just can't see us getting anything in this. We've got a bad record at Anfield. Like we did get a draw there last year, which helped us with the top 4. But yeah, 3-2. And I think for me, the best Liverpool players this week, Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson. But I also like Gakpo this week. I think Gakpo is a brilliant pick. He's going under the radar. Let's go to Leicester-Everton. This is a bit of a dead game, really, this week. No one's on Leicester players. I don't really know anyone on an Everton player unless you're an Everton fan. So FPL point of view, if you're not on a free hit and you've still got Maddison, you probably play him unless you've swapped him out. Yeah, there's not much else to talk about for FPL with this game. I'll back Leicester to win, though. This is a real relegation. It's a real relegation scrap, so it's a good game for for the league and for the fixtures this weekend. It's a massive relegation battle, but yeah, let's go 1-0 Leicester. Maybe they'll finally get a clean sheet when none of us are playing their players. We'll go to this would normally be a big London derby, but Chelsea obviously don't have much to play for. So maybe for them, they want to just put a further dent into Arsenal's title challenge. So we'll preview that in a second. Steve is asking why they did not give the assist to Isaac. It's ridiculous. I think what they think is when Isaac, he went on the run, and then when he dinked that ball, they're looking at it as if he shot towards goal and he didn't intentionally make the assist. I'm assuming maybe the ball took a nick off someone and the movement of the ball must have changed, and it's robbery. It's robbery. We've seen it before, though, down the years with FPL. They've given assists for far less. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. Yeah, I think Wilson's definitely more lethal right now. That goal he scored was incredible against Everton. That goal was incredible. And Isaacs, yeah, he's just going to get better and better and better as well. So, yeah, it's Newcastle are definitely a team to start targeting with their double game week in 36. PSB did ask, assuming Salah and Trent are your 2 Liverpool picks, who do you think is the 3rd Liverpool pick? For me, it's Robertson, because I'm just going old school and I want the 2 Liverpool defenders. I also like my template midfield of like Rashford, Matoma, March, Kevin De Bruyne, that type of thing. If you had space and you were like, I don't want Solly March, or I don't want Matoma, and you're happy to drop one of those players, or you can't get to Kevin De Bruyne, I'd go Gakpo as the 3rd. The relegation battle. This is an interesting one. Who do I think is going to go down? I think Leeds will go down. Sorry to any Leeds fans that are in the stream, but or watch the streams. They're just not getting wins. You never know. The last 3 or 4 games, things can just change. But I think Southampton will go. I think Leeds will go, and I think Everton could go. Everton don't have any goals. You need goals at the end of the season. You need to go for games and try and score goals. Maybe if Calvert-Lewin can get some of his prowess back, but I think we could see some big teams go down this season with Everton and Leeds, which will be big for the Championship. But that's just how I see it. Even Southampton, they've been very good in the Premier League down the years. So they were in the Championship. They went down to League One as well. But I think it could be Leeds and Everton with Southampton. I just don't see the goals in Everton. And Leeds are just chipping too many. We've had a few more questions come in, which is brilliant. So I will bring them up. If you are new to the stream, please get your comments in and all your questions ready for the deadline in just over half an hour. Arsenal, Chelsea. Arsenal obviously battered by City in the week. Chelsea haven't won in 5 games now in the league. That they're really struggling. They tend to have this way of stopping teams winning the league with getting good results, but I think Arsenal will win this. I think those managers that keep their Arsenal players because they don't have a free hit will probably actually get some really strong returns. So I think Arsenal will win this game, and I'm going to back them to win 2-0. Chelsea just not good. Lampard just not getting any change out of this Chelsea side. So, yeah, I wouldn't target any of these players on free hit because I just think you want to go for the double game weekers. But I think Arsenal will win the game. Last 3 fixtures. So I will let's quickly preview the 3 games, and then I'll bring up all the comments so we can get the fixtures done. So Liverpool, Fulham, we obviously spoke about Liverpool and Fulham in the other fixtures. So I'll just do score predictions from here because these are just the double game weeks. We've already spoke about the players to target. So Liverpool, Fulham, I'm going to back Liverpool to win this 3-0. I think Liverpool will come into form in this one and they'll win 3-0. Midweek, Anfield under the lights. I think City will win this game as well. And I'm going to go for a 3-0 in this one as well. And then Brighton United, this is tough. Tough. I'm going to go 2-2. I think we'll see another 2-2 draw. I think this will be an open game. Brighton are looking good. Man United just have injury problems, but it's not going to matter too much for Man United. They're in, they're going to make the top 4 now. And I think 2-2 in that one. So let's bring up the rest of the comments that have come in. So I'll start to bring them up, and then I want to go through the questions I got on Twitter as well, because I had some really good questions which are going to help viewers for this double game week. We've had some new watchers, which is awesome. So please like this video, subscribe if you're new here, and get your questions in as well, especially if this is the first time that you've joined the stream. We were talking about that Isaac assist earlier. I remember that Trent one. That was robbery. And there was a Solly March goal as well that we weren't given, and a Ben White clean sheet. It's been a strange season. So Frank has asked Robertson and Grealish or Diaz and Gakpo. I'm going to say, because I've been talking up Gakpo this week, I'm going to say Diaz and Gakpo. Christian said he could do Grealish to Gakpo to have a Liverpool asset. Is it worth it, though? Would give me KDB and Haaland from City. I think it's worth it. I think you've got more chance of there being rotation at City than you've got at Liverpool right now. So I think it's worth it, mate. You're covered with KDB and Haaland. And yet Everton, I'd be surprised if they stay up. Do I think West Ham will win the Conference Cup? They've got a good chance. They've got a very good chance. They play AZ Alkmaar in the semis, so I'd back them to beat them over 2 legs. Fiorentina in the final would be very tough. Italian teams are doing well in Europe this year. Yeah, it's tough. Do I think they will win it? I'm going to say, yeah, I actually think they might win it. I think they might win it because they just seem to be flying through that competition this year. I know there's some good teams that have now come into it later on, but I think if West Ham get to the final, I think they'll find a way to win it. Like, they're very good from attacking set pieces as well. A lot of tight games are won through headers and set pieces and free kicks in finals. And I think if West Ham can get past semis, I think they'll win it. Will Chelsea ever win a game this season? I don't know. Right now, I actually do not know if they're going to win another game. They just look so devoid of confidence. I think if they didn't get some of those early season points and they did get a couple of wins after the World Cup break, yeah, they could have been in serious trouble. We've had some more questions that have come in, which is great. So keep them coming in. What I'll do before I bring up these comments that have come in, I want to answer the Twitter questions now. I want to answer the Twitter questions that come in the other day. So let's bring these on because these are going to help all of you viewers as well. So let's bring these up. There's some really good questions that come in. So the first one. All right. Here it is. Okay, so the first one did come in from Christian, who is in the stream at the moment. He's been in the comments. Is it worth bringing double game week players in on a free hit when there are some incredible single game week fixtures if teams play to form? Look, for me on a free hit, I said this earlier on, I think you have to maximize the double game weeks. That is why you're free hitting. You're free hitting to get the double game week players in. City have a home game. Liverpool have 2 home games. Man United have a home game. And Brighton have 2 home games. So for me, you've got to maximize that free hit. Then you did also ask, in particular, teams I'm looking at that might outscore doublers in order. Brentford versus Forest, Newcastle versus Southampton, and Bournemouth versus Leeds. All very good single game week fixtures. And there is potential for them to outscore a lot of these double game weekers. But I think if you're on a free hit, maximize that free hit because you'll look back at it if they do fire these double game weekers and think, God, I wish I'd. And that's why you play the free hit. Like, you want as many double game weekers in there as possible. It doesn't always work out. I agree. And of course, you got to be cautious, but I reckon go for it, mate. Go for it. We also had a question from Sakib, and he asked, is it worth taking a -8 and bringing in 4 double game week players? I'm going to say yes, because you're obviously not on a free hit. People are going to be taking at least a -4. You're going to see other managers on a -8, might even see a few -12. So I think if you make the right choices, you can get away with it this week. Cool. All right. Let's start to bring up the comments. I will quickly I'll go through my 3 differentials actually. Let's do that now, and then I'll start bringing up all the questions and comments because we're 25 minutes to deadline. So differential number 1, probably not surprised for everyone that's been in the podcast all night. Gakpo, 6.1%. He's had 2 double-digit scores in his last 3 games. Really like in this double game week for him. 2 home games. Dallo, 6.1%. I do have my reservations that if Maguire is back, then Dallo might not get the full 2 games. But I can see, at 6.1%, if Maguire remains out and he then plays still on the left and Shaw's pushed to centre-back, Dallo could be a good option. And then my last one, 3.6%. For those that still have Jared Bowen, I've got a feeling he might score in this Palace game. And then City haven't been keeping clean sheets. And Bowen just has his knack of scoring against the big clubs. Could be a good week for Bowen, and he's low owned. So I'm liking those differentials. And then for captains, Salah's number 3 for me, 2 home games. Rashford's number 2, but he's a close number 1 because he just looks on fire. Every time I watch Rashford play, doesn't matter who he plays against, he just looks so threatening and so good. And then obviously Haaland's number 1. I think if City have got these games wrapped up within the sort of hour, I do think Haaland will get subbed. but he's chasing goal records. So yeah, definitely Haaland number one. All right, so the comments that have come in. Team is locked. Edison, Ortega, SG Bernard, Trippier, Botman, Shaw, Trent, Rashford, Salah, captain, Matoma, March. And then he's talking about his bench boost. He's got Haaland in his team, Isaac, Edward, just over 1 million ranks. So good luck, mate. I think you'll definitely get a green arrow with that. Welcome to the stream, Jermaine, mate. I hope you are good. Welcome to the stream, Martin Watchhorn. This is Wrestling Film. Yeah, big double, mate. Big double. I'm sure you're buzzing. Obviously, your team's doing very well this season. So, yeah, this is a big week for you as well. And Man United have got 2 games too. So he did it. He took a -8 for Trent, Isaac, and he got Rashford back. Chilwell, Saka, and Watkins. I think that's good. Chilwell's got to go. He's got to go. Saka, I feel like he might get someone against Chelsea, but Rashford, much better pick for this double game week. And then Isaac for Watkins. Nothing wrong in that as well, especially because Watkins, Isaac has probably got the fixtures you want now for the rest of the season and double game week in 36. Good question. Take an 8-point hit or use wildcard. I want to bring in Brighton players, Salah and Isaac. I think on a wildcard, right, you're going to be bringing in 3 Brighton, 3 City. So then you're covered for 36 double game week and 37 double game week. You're probably then going to bring in a couple of Newcastle. So you're covered for their double game week and 36. Which then means you've got transfers to bring in 1 extra Newcastle. You're going to bring Man United players in as well. So whoever double in 37. So it's probably actually worth doing your wild card now because you're going to get your 3 United, your 3 City, your 3 Brightons. Then you're covered for all the later doubles. Bring in a couple of Newcastle players. Might have to bench them. Bring in Liverpool players. Start them. And yeah, I'll do it now, mate, personally. I think this is perfect because there's enough double game weeks for City, United, and Brighton to make the most of the next few game weeks. PSB said Haaland might play 120 minutes over 2 games versus Salah's 180 minutes. Any temptation of going for Salah if chasing? I think I've been chasing for most of the season because obviously everyone that follows the streams, as our PSB, I messed up with Haaland at the start of the season. Wasn't taking a hit to bring him in my team, and by not captaining him, it really cost me. I have now since climbed ranks. I'm trying to get into a top 100k finish this season. I had a really good rank last year, and I want to try and salvage something from the season. But am I chasing? I think because I'm just a little bit too far behind in some of my sort of mini leagues that I play with friends, I'm happy just to have a consistent finish. So I think if I was really, really chasing a friend, like I was 2nd or 3rd in a mini league and I was chasing first and I really wanted to win it, then maybe I probably would. I'm not going to do it in my team, but I can see the appeal. But I'd probably chase. I would probably, Salah. I'm just thinking Rashford, but then Rashford won't have the pens. Salah is coming up against a terrible Spurs defense, and Fulham. It is so tempting. Do I make the change? You're kind of tempting me now. Yeah, I'm going to say yes. If you're chasing, do it. Thoughts on Kevin Edison for a -4? Yeah, I'd do that. I think Edison's got potentially a clean sheet and a 2-pointer in him as a minimum, which is 8 points. -4, you get 4. Kepa will not keep a clean sheet at Arsenal. Start one of Saka, Watkins, Kane, Martinelli, or Trippier. One of those players. Wow. Picking my boy Harry Kane every day of the week. I do think Trippier's got the best fixture on paper. Martinelli and Saka, also a good fixture at home to Chelsea. Kane's got the toughest one, but Kane is the highest point scorer out of all of them. He's the most consistent. He's got a good record at Anfield as well. Mate, that is a tough question. Look, I'm biased. I'm picking Kane, but I'm a Spurs fan as well. So if it was my team, I'd pick Kane because I'm going to enjoy FPL points. And if he scores, I'm happy because it means Spurs have scored. Look, if I take the Kane bias away a little bit, it's probably going to be... Yeah, Liverpool can't defend either this season. That's a tough question, mate. Um, that's a lot of good players to have. If you've got a bench boost, I'll be bench boosting that. Look, I'm going to back Harry Kane for consistency this season. But do expect to have points on your bench with these players because they're good players, and they've got good fixtures. Zuma or Trippier. This is where having a double game week can sometimes be a bit of a disadvantage for teams like West Ham because you might get someone at Palace who, by the way, can't defend set pieces that well. So you might get a Zuma header. We saw that in the last double game week for Zuma. He actually got some really good points, including a header. And he didn't have a great double game week then either. And he ended up coming out really well. But you look at the City game, they could concede 4 goals as an example. And he ends up with a poor game week. We also saw when Tarkovsky got like 0 points or 1 point on a double game week. So, there is always that. I'd probably say, I fancy Trippier a bit more than Zuma. Even though I always preference towards double game week players, I just don't like that City game for West Ham. Well, that's all the questions we've had come in and on Twitter as well. So thanks everyone that's been on the stream and has been getting their questions in. Continue to get them on. I'm happy to stay on longer whilst we get questions come in. We've got some good viewers at the moment, good numbers in the stream. So I appreciate everyone that is in here right now. If you just want to take 5 seconds now and just give this video a like, really helps the YouTube algorithm. Just getting the like on there gets more people in the stream, it gets more questions, helps everyone for their game week. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new here as well. Really appreciate everyone that subscribes to the channel, and get your comments in. I'm literally just going to check for any last minute game news whilst I wait for questions to come in. So I'm checking Twitter now. I'm seeing if there's any late FPL news, any injuries, anything to do with press conferences, whilst I wait for more questions to come in. So continue to get your questions in. Appreciate everyone that's just gone onto Twitter. Christian's one of those, so thanks, mate. He's gone on there and he's retweeted this. He'd retweeted this podcast too, so really appreciate that. I'll give it a few more minutes. If we don't get any more questions in, then I'll look to leave the stream. But I want to stay on. I want to hopefully get some more questions. Steve, thanks for coming in, mate. Good luck. I'm assuming you might be a West Ham fan, mate. If you're still tuned in, let me know if you are a West Ham fan. Maybe that's how you've ended up with Zuma in your team and you're asking about West Ham. And obviously, as me as a Spurs fan, probably thought I wasn't going to say West Ham were going to win the Conference League, but if you are a West Ham fan, I just think you will win it. I just think you've got the experience of the Europa League now, which is bigger than the conference, and I think you will be able to get past AZ. Yeah, look, no other questions have come in, so I'm going to give it another 30, 40 seconds. And if something comes in, normally when we get a question that comes in, it then gets other people asking. So I'm going to wait, see if anything else comes in this next minute or so. Okay, you are a West Ham fan. Now, fair enough. So my, a couple of my uncles are big West Ham fans as well. So we've always had a bit of rivalry between, obviously the big rivalry between the two clubs and stuff. But I think you'll win it. I just think, I look at the fixture against AZ. I think they're doing okay in the Dutch league, but I think you'll have too much. Like Bowen's just hit good form the last few games. He started to look sharp, and you've started picking up results again. I just think you'll win it. The final, I think, like the toughest team for you in the final, obviously, if you win the semi, would be Fiorentina. I just think you'll do it. Don't know why. Nice one, mate. That's class. Are you going to the away game as well, or just the home one? Either way, it's going to be a big night for you, mate. Like, I'm obviously envious as a Spurs fan that you might win a trophy. That's the thing with this Conference League as well. Like, you got people saying, "Oh, it's Johnson's Paint Trophy Cup or Intertoto Cup, or whatever." But the reality is, if you win it, you're going to be one of the first, or the second team to win it. It's history, and it's for the fans. Like, as a West Ham fan, you're going to have a great time at the semi-final. You're going to have a great time at the final if West Ham make it and you get to go. Like it's what football's for. Like you want to win stuff. Doesn't matter if it's the League Cup, the Conference Cup, whatever it is. Like if Spurs finish 7th this season and end up in the Conference League next season and we don't win it, I'll be disappointed that we didn't try. I want us to go all the way. Yeah, fair play to West Ham this season for being in a relegation fight a few weeks ago, but still going for it in the conference. So yeah, fair play. I'm not liking -4s for Trippier out. I don't mind -4s for other single game week players. I don't like it for Trippier because you're going to have to bring him back. Game week 36, you're going to want Trippier double game week. And I don't know how much value you got tied in him. I don't know if you got a wild card, but yeah, I don't like it on a -4, mate. I don't mind if it's just like, if you're not doing it for a hit, I don't mind it. As long as you've got the money to bring him back for 36. I'm not as keen on it on a -4. And I know I've been saying load up and double game week players, but not for hits. It's different if you're on a free hit. Cool. 14 minutes till deadline. All right, I'm going to have a look and see if we've got any expected ownership posts for captains. PSB, if you're still in the stream, I know you're really big when it comes to captain picks, so please let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on captains this week. There's actually been some breaking news on This Is Anfield. Diogo Jota doubt emerges as he misses training. So if you're a Diogo Jota owner right now, he looks like he may not start the Spurs game. He's got a knock, but he should be all right, is the comments. Okay. You probably get the second game out of him, though, so it's probably not worth being rash and taking him out. Yeah, let's see if there's any captain stats for captain FPL. Right, let's see what captain stats we got this week. Yeah. Okay. This is the other thing you got to remember. A lot of people are triple captain in Haaland for those that have their triple captain left. So if you go against it and Haaland goes nuclear and gets, a hat trick and a double or something like that, which he can, we know he can do it in like 20 minutes, then yeah, you're going to miss out on a huge chunk of points. But I am seeing a few Salah captains. Okay. There is another Salah there. Okay, so the captain poll and the EO projection has Haaland at 92.2%. Okay. So if you do go against Haaland in this game week, if you go against him and he doesn't go nuclear and he doesn't get, big, massive scores, then yeah, you could be absolutely laughing. But if he does, you're looking at a horrible, horrible red arrow, especially if your captain doesn't hit. But look, 12 minutes till deadline. Quite a few people have now left the stream. So thanks everyone that has joined into the stream. If any other questions quickly come in, get them in now. I will still answer them. Otherwise, please like the video, subscribe if you're new. Yeah, stay tuned. More content coming up in the next week. For those that play UCL Fantasy as well, that comes back I'll probably be doing something on that next weekend too. So yeah, plenty of stuff coming up in the uploads. Jermaine just asking, is Q watching? He's got Jota in his team. He's actually, so Q, I think he's at work. He's actually at work. So yeah, he does his night shift tonight. And I believe, so Q's posted his team. So he's done it. He knew about the Jota injury. And what Q has actually done, I'll tell you what he's done, mate, because he's posted his team. He has, what's he done here? He's kept him. And he knows there's a knock for Jota. He knows about it, but I think he's done it thinking he'll come on against Spurs and then he'll probably play the Fulham game. That was his thinking. Hope you're well, mate. Welcome to the stream, Tommy, FPL Roo. Is that your normal account, Tommy? And then that's your FPL account. Yeah, welcome to the stream, mate. Great to see you back in the comments. 10 minutes till deadline. Look, I'll leave it there for everyone that's tuned in. Thanks. Doesn't look like we're going to get any more questions in. Oh, we've got one from Gremlin. Wilson or Isaac? Brilliant. Isaac, because I think he starts. I think Wilson might start with him as well. But it's tended to be a pattern that when Wilson plays, Isaac then plays, then Wilson plays. So I'd probably say Isaac. I think Isaac's going to be the mainstay for the rest of the season. But it doesn't mean Wilson, it doesn't mean Isaac's going to outscore Wilson. I just think Isaac's the better pick from now to the end of the season. I don't think he starts on Sunday, but I think he starts against Fulham. 1.5 games. FPRU has not confirmed his transfers. No Salah is wondering me, but I'll need to be a -8 if I want Trent. It's tough, mate, because you don't want to be taking -8s, but at the same time, like the one thing, and this happened to me, right? I never used to take hits, and the one thing I've done this season is I've started to take more hits when there's been double game weeks, because I've looked at it and thought, well, they'll probably pay themselves back. Let's be real, mate. We are not keeping a clean sheet at Anfield. Salah's record against us is ridiculous. It's not the Liverpool that we've seen down the years, but I still feel like he could score in each game. I don't think Trent's going to get a clean sheet against us, but I think he could do something big against Fulham. I guess you've got to look at it, right? Who are the two players you're going to take out? So whoever those two are, predict what you think their points is going to be. So if you think it's going to be like 10 points, then the -8. You've got to then think, will Salah and Trent beat 18 points? That's kind of how I look at it. And if you don't think they're going to, then then don't do it. But I think there'll be lots of hits flying around. At the same time, it's not as crucial to have Liverpool players now than what it's been at previous seasons. But I'd be very surprised, mate. If you can go a cheaper option under -4, I've been talking about Gakpo on this stream all night. Really like Gakpo. And he's going to be in the centre forward position because I don't think Jota's going to play against us. Watkins isn't a bad one to play, though, mate. Like, he's scoring goals. He's on form. United's defence, it's a mess, mate. We saw it the other night against us. Isaac. I think I had the same question earlier on, actually. So there's a lot of people that seem to have these two players. And normally I'd say back a double game week player. But the reason I wouldn't play Zuma, although Palace can't defend set pieces that well, I think Palace score, and I think City score quite a few against West Ham, and I think Isaac is still the best pick. If it was a Liverpool defender, play the Liverpool defender over Isaac. For a second, here we go. News that Bruno is going to miss one game. Is that true? Well, let's find out. We are 7 minutes till deadline as well, everyone. So I'm trying to get everyone's questions in. Bruno Fernandes. Let's see if there's any rumors on Twitter and what they're saying about Bruno. He did play against Spurs the other night. He hit the bar. I've not seen any flags. Not seeing. No, not seeing too much. I think Bruno's another big player. Like, I couldn't afford him for this week unless I got rid of De Bruyne. I think he could be a big player for this double game week. Assist against Spurs. Should have scored as well when he hit the bar. So, yeah, mate, I've not heard that. I think he'll be fine. Very true. Abu Bakar for a -4. Nah, I don't think so. I wouldn't be taking hits for players that, let's be real, like, what are you expecting him to score this game week, really? I don't think it's worth a -4. Okay, no, I wouldn't do that, mate. No way. I think Bruno's a good pick this week. And Grealish. Bruno, so everyone that's got Salah, they don't have Bruno. Bruno could match Salah this week in those fixtures. And I probably would say it's not worth taking out Grealish. So, mate, you'd probably be okay because you've got Bruno. If you didn't have Bruno and that was like Saka or Martinelli, I would have said do it. I could do Kane and Henry to Jota and Trent. Yeah, I like Trent, mate. I think with Jota, if you do that, you're just going to have to expect that he's probably not going to start the first game. But he should play the second one. Anytime, mate. Yeah, fair enough, mate. Look, I don't think he keeps a clean sheet in the first game. I think Spurs will score, but there's a chance he gets an assist. He's playing in that like inverted position. So, and then the Fulham game, he could get a big score in that. I've got a good feeling about Trent in that one. So, yeah, and captain him. Why not? Just the EO is going to be huge on Haaland this week though. Like he's captain in EO, and a lot of people are triple captaining him. So just be a bit cautious. Anytime, mate. I'm absolutely buzzing to get you back on a stream. So if you don't subscribe to FPL Roo, go and subscribe to him. He will be on a stream soon, I'm sure. Yeah, mate, go make them. Go get your transfers in with 4 minutes till deadline. What I'll do, look, I'm going to stay on till deadline for the next 4 minutes. I'm going to see if there's any other late news. Could you bring in a Kanji? Look, with Man City defenders, that's why I've gone personally on a free hit with Edison, because I just want safety. And I'm not 100% certain City keep clean sheets. But I would still say a Kanji at 5 and Stones at 5.6. If you can't get to Stones at 5.6, then a Kanji is the next best bet. Or Kyle Walker at 4.7 seems to have won his place back. I'll probably say Walker. Hard to say. He might get one of the two games. He'll definitely get minutes. But what you got to remember now is City. They want to get the job done against Fulham. Then the West Ham game is the game in hand that will put them back top of the league. So they'll want to get the job done. Alvarez is more than good enough, but whether or not they would change their lineup, I'm not sure. He'll definitely get minutes across both games. It's tough, mate. It's tough. Go for Tony. You know why? Like, it's tough. It's tough. I'd probably I know Isaac's very popular. And this is the thing, mate. It always seems to be the way, doesn't it? Tony's been so consistent this season. I think Forest will concede, as will Southampton. They could match each other, mate. But Tony, I think when a lot of people decide they don't own Tony anymore, that's when he starts to get points and scores goals. So yeah, I don't mind Tony. 2 minutes till deadline. I'm just checking my team now to make sure it is locked in. I've used the fit. So let's make sure it's locked in. It is. My team's ready to go. We're about to get to 1 minute until deadline. Here we go. All right, we're going 1 minute till deadline. So make sure any quick questions in the last minute, you get them in now and make those subs, make those changes, make those captain changes. Welcome to the stream, Mark. Hope you're well, mate. We're literally counting down deadline now. So we're getting to 40 seconds until deadline. Nice one, mate. Yeah, -4 is fine this week. I was even saying throughout the stream, a -8 is probably we're going to see a lot of -8s for those that don't have free hits. We're going to see a lot of triple captains on Haaland. Could be really, really good week for them. 20 seconds until deadline. Make sure your teams are locked in. I'm going to just check mine for a 5th time and make sure it is locked in. It is. Captain Haaland. Here we go. So we got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deadline. Early deadline today. Game week 34, double game week. 6 teams are doubling, includes Man City, Manchester United, Liverpool, Brighton, Fulham, and West Ham as well. Really exciting game week ahead. Good luck, everyone, for this game week. Thanks to everyone that has joined the stream tonight and that has also stayed in the stream for the full hour. We've had plenty of people that have stayed in the stream for the full hour, so I really appreciate all the support. Again, if you're new here, like the video, subscribe as well, get any comments in as well if you watch this post deadline. Marcus asked how many double players I have a full team of doubles. I've free hit, I've put full doubles in, so I've gone 3 Man City, 3 Liverpool, 3 Brighton, and 2 Manchester United players. All the best, mate. All the best, Jermaine. Good luck. You're having a huge season. You're having a huge season, aiming for the top 1K, mate. Congrats on a massive season. But look, we'll leave it there. Good luck as well, mate. Good luck, everyone. Thanks to the new viewers tonight. Thanks to everyone that's stayed in. And we'll leave it there. Best of luck for game week 34, double game week. I'm FPR Matt Day, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now.